Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be writing our story, at least those first couple of paragraphs. You'll need to get out your planning that you did yesterday, and it might be handy to have the other sheets from earlier in the week too. We're going to write it up into 2 paragraphs on whatever paper you have at home. This is going to carry on over the next couple of weeks as well. When you do English next week, we're going to build on this part of the story and the week after as well. Let's get started. Okay, so I've got here my planning format from yesterday, and I've also got just today's date written at the top of a piece of paper. So I'm going to start off with paragraph 1. I'm going to look back at those pictures that I wrote yesterday. Now don't worry if you think actually you can think of something better today. You can change this. This is just a rough planning idea. So I said I was going to start off with one cold, wet morning as my fronted adverbial. Capital letter for the start of the sentence. Okay, there we go, one cold, wet morning. Now, I've got here, I was thinking about things, but I'm going to add some more detail to that, and I'm going to write, I sat at the home desperately trying to decide what to do. Full stop. I'm going to check back over to my plan now. So I'd done all my jobs, played games, and I couldn't get outside because it was so wet. So remember that each picture can represent a lot more than one word. I could have it representing maybe 5 or 10 words. I can also add in more detail than what I included in my plan. Don't forget to look back at the adjectives you suggested as well. Use these. You don't have to think of them all over again. So, one cold wet morning, I sat at home desperately trying to decide what to do. I had done all of my jobs for the day. Completed all of my games. And what was the last one? And I couldn't even go outside. Needed an apostrophe there because I have a contraction. And I couldn't even Okay, so there's my first couple of sentences. One cold wet morning, I sat at home, desperately trying to decide what to do. I had done all of my jobs for the day, completed all of my games, and I couldn't even go outside because it was so wet. Check back to my planning at what the next part is. This is the part where I talk about looking around the house and go into my bedroom and open the wardrobe and go through. I'm going to have a go at writing that myself. Why don't you have a go at writing your first paragraph and then come back to this video for paragraph 2. Alright, so I've just finished my first paragraph here. I carried on writing. I began to search for anything to keep me entertained. I knew I couldn't ask my friends to come over and play, so I'd just have to make up my own game. I tiptoed upstairs so as not to disturb my dad, who was working hard in his office, and into my bedroom. I began searching for ideas. I looked under my bed. I searched through my drawers. I even checked under the rug. Then I had an idea. What about my wardrobe? I had chucked loads of old toys in there over the years. Maybe I could play with one of those. I jumped to my feet and ran over to open the doors. It seemed much bigger than usual, but the old toys must be at the back. So I pulled the clothes aside and stepped in. Okay, when you're writing your first paragraph, don't worry if you've not got quite as much as me, but I want you to really think about where those full stops and capital letters should go. Don't let your first paragraph just be one huge long sentence. Use full stops to break it up, and don't forget to keep reading your work back to check that it makes sense. When you've got to this stage, we're going to move on to paragraph 2. And now to start a new paragraph, I need to start a new line. I'm going to miss one out and start again here. Paragraph 2, now I'm going to check back at my planning. Paragraph 2 is where I enter this imaginary world and I describe it using my 5 senses. Let's go. So I've just stepped in. I'm going to start with in front of me instead of the solid back of the wardrobe. I could see a faint streak of light. I climbed towards it, and to my surprise, I found myself stood on a warm, sandy beach. Now I'm going to use some of my expanded noun phrases from yesterday to, not yesterday, the day before, to describe some of the things I can see and feel. So let's go with the palm trees first, and I'm going to use this expanded noun phrase in my writing. So above me, stood enormous, towering palm trees with emerald. Oh, I'm just going to cross that out. Doesn't matter if you make mistakes, just cross that out and start again. With emerald green leaves. Okay. When you're describing your imaginary world, remember to use all 5 of the senses. Check back, use your sheet from Monday that's got those 5 senses pictures on, and try and include something from each of them in your description. Don't forget to include some really interesting adjectives as well to make your description really vivid and really interesting. I want you to make this place the sort of place that I would love to go, somewhere that I'd love to have an adventure. When you've finished your writing, have a go at editing. So you might like to use another colour for this. You're going to go through and check your work. There are more instructions on the timetable for this week. Good luck, everybody. I cannot wait to read your stories when you're done. Please email them to your class teacher so that we can have a look. It'd be great to be able to put some of these on our website. See you soon.